Hello and welcome as today's day comes in at a Friday, the 7th day of June 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. Nothing too much overall exciting. A lot of markets barely moving, but few of them are. Bitcoin up to, if you want to call it, up to 7,960. 1.94% gain for the day as price action after the last 2 days, spending time below the 18 average of lows completely, 3 days in total. Has managed to make it right back up towards this level. Is it going to be able to hold and stay below such? Well, this is really into its fourth day of doing it. But if this support doesn't get breached, we get a re-entry into here and it holds and stays, and we stay above 8,000 for a while. Well, I would consider these 4 days a measure of holding and staying above the 18 lows at this point, because after breaking down, well, it hasn't made new lows or broke down since that point, at least not as of yet. But this is a very historic day. And when I say that, I'm kind of sarcastic, but in serious with what I'm saying, because Bitcoin is only about 1,250 times better than Bitcoin 2. You're like, Bitcoin 2? I've never heard of it. Well, I never heard of it 7 minutes ago myself either. I was just checking Coin Market Cap to see, well, what's the best one on the top 100? And, well, rank number 66 is Bitcoin 2, up 203% to $6.65. So the hours and hours, I was going to say days and days, but there really wasn't too many. Maybe there was a few where Bitcoin was like uh, 4,000 times more. Hmm, not as much anymore. This is a fork from Bitcoin, very much at this level, less than 1/10 of a percent. Not that much, but according to their tweets, well, they got listed on CoinMarket. That's why more people were caught off guard by the effects of a lot of more new eyes on BTC too. So suddenly, we'll be applying for big exchanges shortly. Whether how this is going to work, I have no idea. I just noticed them right now, and I know that the ratio against Bitcoin is 0.00083,829. I also noticed on CoinMarketCap that Ardor having a good day. I was at 1,000 Satoshi after midnight last night or before 3 o'clock in the morning. And, well, basically, the market went up high. But the thunder rolled after that. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul was in sight. The city was bubble blowing like a ghost town. I'd forgot the lyrics of that Garth Brooks song. I just thought of that because it was 3:30. And then I was also thinking it's 3 a.m. I Must Be Lonely, a song by Matchbox 20, a 1990 song. Well, that's when this broke out. Going from 1,000 up to, well, 1,700. The whole point of it is it was an hour move. Since then, there's been okay volatility since falling down to 13, up to 15, and just doing nothing. But the fact that markets go up a lot faster and then they go down, it took an hour or so to go up. To fall from this level, this high, on April the 17th to originally get to this low was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks to go down. I'm not going to put it in decimal amounts of weeks, but 1 hour. Mark, and if you have your orders in place, then they work out. And of course, even if not, if you just wake up now and you see, oh, I was at 1,000 yesterday, I can just sell at 14.55. That's still a 50% gain as it plays right now. And before getting into Litecoin, I want to go over a few coins that have been just trying to break out, but as of now, not doing so well, at least very short term. As this major level of resistance in here on the daily chart has, well, it's got this big range. Back up to it again last night. And in such, coming back down. Where do we want to see this hold on those levels that I talk about? You have a breakout. I want you to see it hold and stay above a certain area. Well, we had this high. You really want to come back to, you got this resistance in here, this resistance here. Most importantly, though, you have all of these higher lows. We'll get back to Ethereum in a little bit, but that will be against that of Litecoin. Bitcoin Cash also having a lot of this resistance area test, still holding all the support stuff, but still hasn't broken it. Still a waiting game. DGB. And a lot of this similar vote with its 195, holding the 18 average of lows, but unable to break the resistance. A lot of, and there's probably a bunch more like this, just a lot of coins trying to get that breakout, but still holding. You can say this is an ascending triangle because of the resistance at 195 of this uptrend line. Of course, it still hasn't broke yet. Just one of those waiting games more than anything. And Litecoin was having this similar situation here. First, it was able to get above this resistance, not do such, support it, and then resistance and established area of around 134. And within today's session, or basically yesterday, the market broke out above this level and had a significantly nice gain. When we view such on the more shorter term time frames, and I want to move this over to, well, before we do that, let's just do the long term. And monthly chart, just chopping back and forth more than anything. Long term, if it's able to end the choppiness and go bullish, it's going to need to hold and stay above about 170 for more than about a year and a half. Uh, and 3/4 of a year plus. Well, 9 periods, 12 periods, 15 when you're talking about the monthly chart. But high area, low area, uh, we'll see. Weekly chart, and amongst this one in here, the this lower area here, from this low here to this high, it has held a multiple hit high or low. It is a retracement from low to high. We're of course long term in such a up and down choppy action. But as far as this last move from here to here, so far so good in holding a retracement and getting above this very flat 18 at about 146, 147 could result into a very interesting situation. There'll be some resistance here at about 186, but getting past that, we'll go to like the 220s, 230s, 240s area. And yeah, so daily chart, nice little breakout above. We can see this still easily could come up and fill more of this empty space, but it's all wildcard. Have we topped now? As that's a question mark. It's already noticeably a break above here. Can we fill up a little bit more? Then we're going to talk about previous high. Are we going to resist it a bit? Is it going to break eventually or immediately? Question marks. And I don't know the answers to any of these things. Let's put this in against Binance. So I'm going to be moving this on to the short term, which means the candles will look much nicer when looking at things like the 15-minute and so on and so forth. I inserted this line last night, which is no Fibonacci. It's just merely the level of this resistance. And in the 4-hour term time frame, it comes up to it. This long standing sideways consolidation. For it got up there May 27th and it held all of its support tests, but it never even had any serious attempt to break out until this one just now on May the 6th, which results in about a little bit more than of 1 week of consolidating this move, which come in there, very large breakout above. We can see that even further. Nice little support in here. But ever since making that top last night at 1900 hours, it's managed to make a double bottom. A double bottom is basically two U's, two V's, or you can insert a name for whatever else that may happen to look like. But that's what this is. High, low, high, low, and it's getting back up to that point now. So you have the move, your first little bit of correction, doesn't go down too much. A little bit of a rally, obviously it doesn't form itself either, but it doesn't break down, making the matching low, getting above the 18 average in here, which is then now showing us, hey, this looks live to break this resistance, thus this move totally not, it's still in play. Moving on to this on the 15-minute term time frame. There's more of this major established support. It's now at a 3x hit of this establishment of resistance. And it didn't spend much time here. Obviously didn't spend much time here. So this little move in here shows on the breakout holding and staying above this area. Now if it could even just stay in this area for 8, 9, 12 periods, maybe 2, 3 hours, then that's just an upgrade within the situation. But breaking it above this, just like I've said so many times, you expect a decent size leg. I'd be looking at somewhere like at least again if it's going to break this. Just ballpark eye test says at least into here, but I mean these moves could even be more phenomenal than that. And if there's anything of note on the 5, it's all just yada 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 stuff. And as far as the top gainer, LITECOIN had an interesting day yesterday, to say the least. My buy was 300 as it came down towards here. I ended up selling 75% of what I bought at about 600, and I put my buy order back in for 300 and adjusted some sell orders below that, and I'm done managing that coin. Of course, that's a very, very, very big sell order that got filled, and pretty much sold it to everything because the low was like 8 Satoshi. 8 Satoshi. So everyone who had these lower numbers, congratulations. Sometimes I'll just randomly stick it on some Bitcoin on one random code, just because I need to store it somewhere. I'll be like, yeah, I'll just put an order. And I had aid, but I had aid before at 2 Satoshi and 3 Satoshi. So had I had 3 Satoshi and this would have happened, I would have been really kind of pissed off. But at 300, I was able to, again to sell it at 600, 75, 80% of what I had. But when I want to take a look at Litecoin Ethereum, yeah, it's looking like it's ready to go. I got two sellers ready to go. I want to sell Litecoin against Bitcoin Cash as also against Tron, but I still want better gains, so I'm still waiting on that. But I'm just waiting for that nice breakout above that resistance field. This is the one that I want to focus on. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. And Litecoin, same thing here, resistance breakout, but the long term is where I want to go on this. So I guess we'll use weekly chart. So I'm just going to circle resistance and support levels. Quite frankly, they are extremely obvious. I guess we can count this as support. We'll count this. And there's some more resistance, some more support. And we got a little bit here. At least maybe if it breaks above the highs it is. Alright then. So support has practically been always down here. Resistance has been in here. And I've been talking about this as a choppy market. It will remain choppy until it's not, and for it to be not, on a bearish level, obviously it's going to break down below here, but we're on the opposite spectrum of that. Bullish level, what I want to see happen is this 3 area hit of resistance hold and be support if it's going to go bullish. Break this level of resistance and along the way find some support back in this general area. Those are the types of things that would change what is a choppy market. But if it's possible, that could happen. Overall, when you talk about coins versus other coins, especially ones that over the long term you're expected to get the type of up and down movements, which are good for trading. But as far as dominance and which one on the long term can hold over the other, I'm not a fan of Ethereum overall. So, of course, I'm cheering for this to go up like this because Litecoin is my largest holding. So in one of those days that is, not much. I talked about Bitcoin. It's a good day, but it's not going up too much. And on Coin Market Cap, most of the coins are like 1% up, 3% up, 2% down, not doing much. But Litecoin is, and I mean, not to the greatest of volatility, but I'm gonna. If you look at this against, we'll have to say Binance, you're probably gonna notice it looks a lot more active on the chart, and it's definitely gonna say that when I look at it. Yeah, that looks much better. But I like to have the Poloniex one on there because I look at the monthly on the Poloniex. Oh, that looks good. If I want a short-term analysis here, well, this is how I'm gonna look at it. I like how this is breaking out of here, but its monthly chart just doesn't stand the test of time, at least not yet. compare the Poloniex one. Thank you for tuning in to what probably is the first video that I managed to almost get done in under 15 minutes, but because of this conclusionary time where I just talk about stuff that really at this point is just rambling, making no sense, waiting for me to say that a B letter word or two of it at the end, which is but. I'm not going to say it yet. You're just waiting for all of that, and now we're like almost a halfway into the 16th minute. I think we had 15 or 16. Yeah, 16th minute, because I got 15 minutes, 29 seconds as I'm doing this. All right, then. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.